What's going on, guys? Welcome to this very exciting video because we are going to be test flying the new GoPro ILS on FPV. I am so excited for this. This is literally going to be my first time ever flying this camera on a drone, so we're in this together. When I first learned about this camera, I was so excited because it just brings a whole new world of possibilities for FPV. The interchangeable lens system just allows you to get so many different looks that just aren't possible with any other action camera. You can get those effects with other drones, like this drone here, which is my other Cinelifter. This is a naked Blackmagic setup, so this top half right here is a stripped down Blackmagic camera. I do love shooting on this drone, but it costs well over $4,000, and just all the setup and kind of technical stuff you need to do to get good shots out of it makes me not want to use it all the time. Just look at the size difference between these things. So this is the Blackmagic. This is the GoPro. So the lens that I have on here right now is a Laowa 4mm lens. With how everything converts, it's basically like as if a full frame camera had a 12mm lens. And something really cool that GoPro has done has built specific lens profiles for different lenses. So this lens here isn't equirectangular, so the output isn't a rectangle, it's a fisheye. But they built a lens profile, so you just put the lens on, select this specific lens, and you're good to go. Stabilization and everything works. And they've done this for a ton of different lenses. And the biggest thing that I wanted to test in this video is just to kind of see how it handles and test out the stabilization. We're gonna do a full behind the scenes flight, so you guys will get to see the raw footage straight out of the camera. Then I'm gonna take the footage back here and just kind of give you my full opinion on it. By the way, if you guys are already planning on picking up one of these cameras, I'm gonna leave my discount code right here. You can get 10% off your entire order. If you're already going to buy one, it would mean a ton if you use that code, just because I get a small kickback and it just helps me make more videos like this. All right, let's go fly. All right, guys, so we are out here. This isn't a video that's gonna have the most insane visuals you've ever seen. This is not like the best spot for getting cinematic videos, but it should give us a good idea of just what this camera looks like. So as far as the lens that I'm filming on, like I said, it is a Laowa 4mm, and I'm gonna be shooting at 4K 30 4/3 aspect ratio. There's quite a few other settings that I did change in the camera, and I'm gonna be coming out with a full settings walkthrough on this camera. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss that. But I'm incredibly stoked for this. This is actually my first time flying FPV in about 3 months because I had a motorcycle crash and I messed up my thumb. Probably not the most ideal scenario to be flying this camera for the first time, but I'm just too excited not to. All right, let's do this. So the drone that I'm flying on is a iFlight Cineflow 7 with a 6,000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. So there's actually a good bit of weight in the back to kind of counterbalance the GoPro. All right, so let's slowly take this guy off. All right. Sweet. To be honest, right off the bat, I don't notice that big of a difference. Let's go up through these trees and get some speed. So unfortunately for right now, you can't use Real Steady or Hypersmooth Pro with this camera. I am very much hoping in the future that that will be an update, but for now we don't have that. I'm also assuming that people will build gyroflow profiles for this lens and a bunch of other lenses. So right now I'm on just normal hypersmooth. There is a boost mode as well. All right. So I was able to lock the shutter speed at 60. And what's nice about these variable aperture lenses is you can just change the aperture until you're able to lock the shutter speed. So you can kind of control it a lot more. One other really cool thing that I want to show you guys while we're over here is you get these really sick sunbursts that just don't happen with a normal action camera. So if you can see, it's like a starburst pattern. It just gives it that, like, I don't know, just like professional feel. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like when we do take the footage back. All right, let's come back this way. I have the ISO set to 25 to 100. So it will brighten and darken a little bit along the way. It definitely is, you can definitely feel it slightly. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but you can feel the extra weight on this 7-inch. Around. Boom. Super curious to see how this stuff looks when we get back. Yeah, I mean, I'm flying a 7-inch right now and I could still do some pretty tight turns and stuff. Throttle is still pretty solid. The 4mm lens really isn't one of the heavier lenses. Boom. I'm also so curious to see how the stabilization looks. I am gonna do another flight after this with Hyper Smooth Boost on. Let's find this tree up here. This is a solid spot to kind of show you guys that starburst effect again. I don't know. I love that. It looks so cool. And the way to do that is just by shooting at a high aperture. I think I'm at f11 right now. And like I said, this is my first time flying it, so I set the focal length what I thought would be good. There is a chance that this might be slightly out of focus. We'll see. All right, so that is the first flight with the ILS. It was super fun. It's gonna be interesting trying this on the 5-inch now though. All right, so I got the Mission 1 Pro ILS all locked and loaded on the 5-inch. This is the Cineflow 5 from iFlight. It does have pretty powerful motors, so I think it should be fine. And I got 6S batteries, but you can just see how freaking big this thing is on this drone. The center of gravity is usually like about here for these FPV drones. I think this one's about here. So I'm pretty confident it's gonna fly. A little bit weird, but it's just about how much. On this flight, I am doing Hyper Smooth with auto boost, so we'll see if that helps the stabilization. All right, let's get this thing in the air. All right. Interesting. Honestly, this doesn't feel that different from the 7-inch and just a normal GoPro. I'm sure if you were trying super technical moves, you'd be able to tell a difference, but I'm very impressed. Even like a little flippy do. Not too bad. That's actually pretty sick. Tight turns, you get a little bit of wobbly feeling. Not anything too terrible. I'm gonna rip down this road again. Throughout this video, you guys have seen footage shot on this camera because that's basically been the whole video, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna take it back to the studio and just kind of talk about my thoughts on it and whether or not it's worth using this over the Mission 1. All right, so we made it back to the studio. For the past 20 minutes or so, I've just been reviewing the footage and just kind of seeing what I like and what I don't like. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I wasn't going out there to get the most cinematic shots in the world. I just kind of wanted to get it in the air and see how it flew, test the stabilization, and then just get a sample of the footage to look at. So let's start off about what I don't like about the footage that I just shot. First off, I definitely could have done better with my exposure settings. The cloud situation was not the best. They were kind of in and out the whole time, and my second flight was definitely a bit underexposed, but not much you can do about that. I also do think I was slightly off with my focus, not too bad, but it does look a little bit off, and that's something I'm definitely gonna get better at. For this flight, since I didn't have a subject, I kind of just set it to infinity and then a little bit back. However, if I was shooting a subject and sort of knew how far away I'd be from the subject, I could just set it a little bit closer, and that would give you a really cool effect effect. Okay, now let's talk about the stuff that I absolutely love. First off, the drones handled really well. I was expecting them to handle much worse. Another thing that I absolutely love is aperture control. It's so nice because you don't really even need an ND filter. If you're not familiar, one of the things that aperture settings control is how much light gets to the sensor. So all I had to do was set my shutter at double my frame rate, so that was 1/60, and then I just used the aperture to get the exposure how I wanted it. Next, I was incredibly impressed with the stabilization. I'm someone who always stabilizes in post in the GoPro app, but I was super impressed with both normal hypersmooth and hypersmooth boost. I do know that you can use gyroflow to stabilize equirectangular lenses, but you can't for the fisheye ones yet. So knowing that the stabilization in camera is already this good is a really great sign. So the next thing that I absolutely loved about this footage is when you fly bigger cameras, so if you're flying the Blackmagic or you're flying a Red Komodo or something, the actual drone flies a little bit differently. It almost flies like it's a bit heavier because it is, and it just gives you this kind of like cinema camera effect. I absolutely love that look, and here's a good example of when I was kind of wrapping around to look back at the car. You can kind of just see that it just has that heavier, bigger camera feel. On top of that, in this video, you only got to see the 4mm fisheye option, but I have a 6mm and a 7.5mm that I'm really stoked to test out as well. Because again, with different focal lengths, you can get a lot more unique shots. It's just something that isn't possible with any other action camera. Okay, next off, let's talk about the freaking lens flares because I love them so much. Those star pattern lens flares basically happen when you shoot at a higher aperture. It's like I mentioned in the video, I think I was at f11, and then you just have to get the sun kind of peeking out from behind something. That is just another little detail that gives your footage just a more cinematic, professional feel. The example that I showed today isn't really the best example. You're gonna get the best examples with that when you're shooting like at sunset, when the sun is right over the horizon. I cannot wait to take it out and test it in like nice golden hour conditions. When I'm shooting with my normal Sony camera, that's like my favorite time to shoot because you can get those cool lens flares. So I'm so pumped to get FPV shots with that. So before I end this video, I want to kind of talk about my initial impressions and just talk about who this camera is for and who it's not for. Because there definitely is a group of people that I think probably should just stick with the Mission 1 Pro. If you're someone who doesn't like messing around with settings and just wants the most simple thing possible, you can just mount on an FPV drone, go out and fly, the Mission 1 Pro is probably the move. This definitely does require a little bit more technical know-how, not a ton, and the learning curve is super easy, but there are a fair amount of people that just don't care about any of the more professional camera feeling effects like I talked about. Now, if you're someone who just wants your FPV footage to feel more cinematic and more professional, this is by far the best camera out there for that. Really, the next step up is getting a drone like this naked Blackmagic setup, and in addition to being super expensive, it just takes a lot to set up, whereas with the ILS, you just put it on your drone, change a few settings, and you're good to go. That being said, I'm not always going to fly with this camera. There are certain situations where I would just rather use the normal Mission 1 Pro, but I am incredibly excited to have the option to get these effects now. I just really cannot wait to test this thing in actual good conditions. There's so many different shots that I'm just dreaming about getting now. All right, so like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you are planning on buying either this camera or the normal Mission 1 Pro or literally anything on GoPro's website, you can use this code to get 10% off your order, and that just helps support the channel and helps me make more videos like this. That's it for this video. If you did enjoy this, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my Mission 1 Pro ILS settings video that I'm going to be posting in a couple weeks. But I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.